I grew up in the Appalachian area, so I was surrounded by forestry, and I always saw a lot of mushrooms just out in the environment. And so it's always been beautiful and intriguing for me to see mushrooms, but it wasn't until I had my first psychedelic experience. My personality is to create it myself. I was very quick to get into learning how to grow mushrooms. Mushrooms are the building blocks for the environment, and I think that there's so many parallels between what creates life on that level and what sustains life on this level. So we can always be looking to nature for models of like how balance can play out in life. And what we have available to show you today are a few unique characters. And when you microdose, you're starting a relationship with this medicine.
Presented in Cheshire Corners is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult a legal professional if you have any questions or concerns about the content of this disclaimer, this series, or the legal implications surrounding psychedelic substances in your jurisdiction.
Welcome to Cheshire Corners. My name is Rita Tsaluk, and let's trip together through the looking glass. It's a great day today in Denver with our new guest, Josh Walker from Lost Gardens. Lost Gardens is natural medicine, legal, 100% legal and licensed for magic mushrooms. Josh, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's good to see you.
So Josh, I know how exciting it is to look at mushrooms. I actually like to look at any mushrooms because I think they're a wonderful creature. I will let you start and explain to us why you think you want to do this job. Why did you decide to open Lost Gardens?
Well, I've been working with natural medicine for about 25 years now, and this is just kind of a natural progression for me to be doing this long and to be finding a place where I can be above board and talking with people in a professional setting versus just like whispering it and talking like around the corner. Being able to be out in the open, and that's where I'm supposed to be. We get to talk about all the medicine we grow and all the things that we've learned about it along the way, and we get to share that with therapeutic centers, and then they get to share that with their clients. Really great thing to be a part of this kind of energy work as it just continues to go beyond anywhere we could imagine.
So you were excited about magic mushrooms way before natural medicine in Colorado started licensing. That's right.
Yes.
So wait, what made you excited 25 years ago? Why? All 25 years was just whispers.
So I grew up in the Appalachian area, so I was surrounded by forestry, and I always saw a lot of mushrooms just out in the environment. And so it's always been beautiful and intriguing for me to see mushrooms, but it wasn't until I had my first psychedelic experience. I was working at a state mental institution with mentally ill, and I was a caregiver, and I had my first psychedelic experience one weekend, and everything became food for thought. It kind of changed the way I looked at everything, and I was re-examining kind of the energy that was going into all the things that were around me. And so, of course, my personality is to create it myself. I was very quick to get into learning how to grow mushrooms, which led me into a gourmet food project in Nashville where we did year-round mushrooms, heirloom produce, and fermented drinks and krauts and kimchis. This psychedelic portion is just like a continued conversation about just overall holistic health. This is kind of where it all kind of becomes these like moments that a person can come to on their own versus like the foods and things they're choosing for their health.
So what do you think making mushrooms so magic?
Well, it's a really interesting part of our ecology. Mushrooms are the building blocks for the environment, and I think that there's so many parallels between what creates life on that level and what sustains life on this level. So we can always be looking to nature for models of like how balance can play out in life. And so I think there's endless examples as you look in the forest, and it's just very enchanting that the mushroom experience can take you there to those kind of understandings. So that kind of elicits like a certain magic quality to the relationship you have with nature.
You list yourself a little space somewhere in the boonies of Colorado, and now you're growing magic mushrooms, legally growing.
Yes.
So tell us what is it different?
So the difference is when people are encountering magic mushrooms out in the world, black market, gray market, whatever you want to call it, you usually see that people grow as much mass as they can because they're going to make money off of more water weight. So the difference is that we're specifically growing for consistency and quality. So we won't even grow mushrooms beyond a certain point because we're trying to have a repeatable experience as much as we can dial in. Of course, this natural medicine has that kind of air to it where it's not really completely repeatable, but we want people to know that the quality of medicine is something that they can repeatedly find from us. And we're just really kind of concentrating on smaller batches, slower movement, and just more care behind the production.
Okay, do you want to show us some of those species that you have?
And what we have available to show you today are a few unique characters. We have Enigma, and it grows more of a floral cauliflower type structure. And as you look in this tub, can you see it?
Yes, very well. It's kind of a mushy.
Yeah, this looks like something you're going to encounter on the ocean floor, more so than you would see on the forest floor. But this is a mutation. And then here I'm going to show you, this is Bluey Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton. Oh, those are babies.
Little babies. They're very dense. And so those are two that we're batching right now.
So when you harvest them, what are you going to do with them?
We harvest the mushrooms, and then we basically we create a piece of paper that has a harvest lot number that follows those mushrooms from the day that they are picked all the way to the end of their experience. We will dry the mushrooms, and then we take a small sample that we will grab, I'd say 6 or 7 different mushroom pieces from the harvest lot, and then we have that tested. At that point of testing, we can now serve that mushroom to our healing centers.
So very cool. But we are going to be here at Almado's microdosing healing center thing, and everybody has their own tolerance, right? So some people might feel something, some might not feel anything.
And when you microdose, you're starting a relationship with this medicine.
I don't know. I have a very good relationship with alcohol. Some people don't. I do. I tried alcohol when I was very young, and it was scary. And since then, I never was drunk. But I like to try alcohol on only ceremonial, when we have a birthday parties, when it's fantastic when you're meeting friends. And I think people just need to understand that with every substance is neutral, but with every substance you need to build relationship with respect to the substance and use it wisely. I think when you're trying and you understand the effect, and you, like you said, you build in relationship.
Yeah, and really, the medicine is in the amount, it's in the intentions, it's in the setting. There's so much that goes into what actually is medicine in that moment. And so you really kind of see that matters.
And even for microdosing, I think pretty much everything we do in this life has to have set and setting and integration. Pretty much everything we do. But specifically when we're dealing with such a powerful medicine like magic mushrooms.
Yes, because these experiences can just be like the insight that someone had that tied together 4 or 5 years of therapy, and it could be like, oh, okay, now I can kind of see, I can kind of connect the dots. So really, the medicine is all these kind of like instances a person can come to, and that's all their personal experience, and it's hard for anyone to say what is the medicine of the moment, because it could be something different for anyone in that time. So that's the kind of beauty of it, is that you just never know what kind of dots are going to connect for who.
What's microdosing is good for? I think microdosing is good for getting introduction to the mushroom and then start building a relationship. It's also good to understand what you can and can't tolerate and understand yourself.
I've spoke with a lot of people over the years. I'll go back and forth. My personal experiences with microdosing is I'll microdose regularly for a period, and then I'll take a period off. And it's during that period off where I'm like, oh, wow, that period of microdosing really helped. I felt like I'm kind of wound up in another place. And you'll hear from some people that they get a lot of the insights during the time that they're on the microdoses. So it's really like another personal experience of when and how people come to realize like what's working.
And it's a really, really good point. But I think there's one thing that we're also gonna offer here and at Almados, because when we meet mushroom and when we create a relationship with mushroom, at the same time we have a chance to meet facilitator.
Yes.
And create relationship with facilitator. And your settings might take a long time, and you might be on microdosing for some time before you decide.
I agree. I think a good exposure to microdosing can help people understand if this medicine is for them on the larger doses.
Yeah, that's cool to have varieties and options.
Yep.
So I can't wait for you to come here and we can have a little Alice in Wonderland party.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah,
with
that'd
tea
be great.
party with mushrooms.
I'll bring my hat.
Oh, even better. Yeah, that's what we're going to be here for. We're going to be at Almados, an entertainment and educational center where we can meet our facilitators, meet our cultivators. Underground site, it probably existed for a while, but it's very much over whisper. This is not a whisper. This is a loud voice. Hey guys, we have a license.
Yes, and we can take this information that we're going to be regularly testing product, and we're going to gain a lot of information from the labs, and then we're also going to be talking to so many therapists. We're going to put that information together so we can have a better picture and informed decisions down the road. And we're only going to know that by being able to pay attention as we go. And so that's what we're able to do on the legal end, is we get to pay attention to all these little details along the way. Yeah, this is all completely above board and hyper regulated and repeatable. I think that all of these natural medicines are like self-regulating. It's not a thing that you just go willy-nilly and just do, because the experience itself regulates itself. You need that setting and intention, so you have uplifting, good, positive experiences. When you're just taking them to try to not be bored, unfortunately, that's probably going to be something you have to sit with, of why you're doing it that way. It's self-informative no matter what. It's just like, what kind of teaching are you looking to get? The function of that molecule in your brain is allowing you to deal with addictive patterns that are already there. So I think it's nothing but a positive thing for all the addictions out there in the world.
Yes, we will learn more. Maybe we will be able to treat addictions way better someday when we research it more. Please like, please subscribe, please put comments in our videos, and stay tuned. Thank you so much, Josh.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please like and subscribe to Cheshire Corners. Tell me what you think in the comments. And as always, don't get psyched out.